Hey kids, I just finished a quick 4K run. It was my exercise for the day, so went a pretty good time. So 17, nearly 18 minutes, 4K, so roughly 4.5 minute Ks, and that's a good time for me. So you might be thinking, why in the world am I filming myself after a run when I can barely speak? Well, it's because it's to do with a challenge that I'm setting myself this term, and I want to talk to you about how you can challenge yourself and what you can do as a big goal for term 2, because I want to work towards running a marathon. Now, I'm not saying that your goal has anything to do with sport or fitness like mine, but I want it to be something big, something that you have to work hard for. So I'm going to talk to you about what some ideas for that are. I'm also going to talk to you about what your learning tasks are for today. So I'll tune you in for those tasks, give you maybe a little bit of a demonstration. And then I know some of you were having a little bit of trouble with Word yesterday and making templates. So I'm going to do a very, very quick explanation on how to make templates from Word. So I'll see you in a minute when I've caught my breath. You know what this is? It's Mount Everest. And for some people, climbing Mount Everest is their life's goal, and it's the big thing that they want to achieve. It's not my goal, and I'm sure it's not any of yours yet. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is, what is your Mount Everest, or what is the big challenge that you want to overcome? Because we do have a little bit of extra time on our hands this term, and it's good to think about what something you would like to achieve is. And I know for me, what I want to do is I want to run a marathon. So I've run a half marathon before, which is 21 kilometers, but that's as far as I've gotten. And I need to double that to get to my goal. So what I did is I researched a training plan, and I've set myself a certain amount of runs each week in order to try and achieve that goal. So what I've done here is I've planned out how I'm going to achieve my big goal. And whenever you're trying to achieve a big goal, you do need to plan it out in stages. So what I've done is I've set myself a certain amount of runs each week, and I did this by researching a training plan, and you can see it gradually builds up each week. So I start by doing 48 kilometers in the week, and then 56 to a total of 68. But then I also start to ramp it down, and then I'm hoping in week 9, which will be the second last week of term, that weekend, I'd love to run my marathon, and I'm aiming to do it in under 4 hours. The reason I'm showing this to you is you guys will help keep me accountable, and that's what happens when you share your goal with whether your family members or your teacher or your class. It keeps you accountable. So I want you to have a think about, what is a big goal that you would like to achieve this term, and how can you break it up into steps, or what you can do week by week in order to achieve that goal. So I want you to think about, what might your big goal be? What's your Everest? It could be reading a certain number of books in the term, and you should base it on what you can already do and then try to increase that. So say you read a book a week, you might double that and try to read 20 books for the term, because there's 10 weeks in the term. It could be learning a certain number of songs on your instrument, and I know that this takes time, but building your repertoire and setting yourself a goal of trying to learn a certain amount. It could be trying to beat a personal best time or score, and that would take lots of repetitive practice. So say you can shoot 10 shots in a row, you would need to practice a lot to be able to improve on that. Or if you can run a kilometer in 4 minutes, if you wanted to beat that, you would have to be running most days. It could also be something that takes time, like a project or creating a movie or writing a book. So some sort of passion project for you that you can do in different steps and different stages. And I want you to think first about what this big goal might be, and then about how you can break it up into steps that you complete week by week. So say it was the books, you might aim to read 2 a week. If it was the songs, it might be learning 1 every second week for 5 in the term. Set something that's achievable, but also a challenge, because that challenge will help you to rise and help keep you motivated. So I want you to share your goal with me, and I've put this template into this tuning in video today, and it says my goal is 2. So I want you to tell me what your big goal is. And then it says I aim to achieve it by doing the following, and it breaks it up into weeks. So tell me what you're going to do each week and keep it as simple as possible. So if week 1 is I'm going to read 2 books, then put that there. And if that's your goal each week, that's fine. And then as you're following that up, write down what sort of books you did read and keep a tally. If you want to record this in another way, you're more than welcome to. If you want to create like a journal, or you want to make it more detailed like my marathon plan, feel free to do that, but make sure you do share it with me. And I'm very curious to hear what some of your big goals are. If you're really unsure, then email me and I'll help you to think of one.